All of the top amateur boxers share a few key techniques that set them apart. In this breakdown, you will learn 3 of these techniques, and by the end of the video, you will know how to apply them in your fights. When we step into the ring, we face more than our opponent. We also fight to impress the judges. No matter how well anyone thinks you fought, it's the judges who decide if your hand gets raised. Judges consistently reward fighters with a specific skill set that is shared by most fighters competing at the international level. In a sport where exchanges happen in a blink of an eye, it's crucial to use specific techniques to catch the judges' attention and win. This video is focused on gaming the system. The techniques that we will break down are used by fighters who consistently impress the judges and win their fights. I will cover the fights of the medalists in the 71 kg weight class at the Paris 2024 Olympics. The techniques in this breakdown help them to classify into the Olympics. These same techniques will help you to 1. Catch the judges' attention, 2. Keep their attention through the fight, and 3. Make your counters more visible. To understand how to catch the judges' attention, let's start by doing an exercise together. Let's put ourselves in the judges' shoes and watch 6 exchanges. Imagine that they represent the whole round, and you must choose one winner. You cannot watch these clips twice or slow them down. Only then you will be in the judges' shoes. Let's get started. Now you have 5 seconds to make a decision. Most people choose blue, even though the exchanges were carefully chosen to be even. Each fighter won one exchange, and on every other exchange they landed the same amount of effective punches. So, if they won the same amount of exchanges and they landed the same amount of effective punches, why do most people choose blue? Well, you were forced to make quick decisions on 2 fighters you know nothing about. And people are really quick at making decisions on their first impressions. I put blue winning the first exchange on purpose. And even though red wins another exchange in the middle of the sequences, most people tend to not put weight on that exchange. Because by the time red lands something clean, to some degree, we already made up our minds. How can we apply this into our fights? Make sure to start sharp and make a statement on your first exchanges. Make sure to make them miss sharply and get to be perceived as a slick fighter, or land many shots on the first exchanges to impress them with your work rate. If you can use both things in the same exchange, it is even better. The point is to make an early statement, get the judges' eyes on you. Once you have the judges' positive attention on you, your scoring punches will look bigger and your mistakes will look smaller. Like a snowball effect, building up until it cannot be stopped. So now that we have the judges' attention at the beginning of the round, how can we keep it through the round? The second technique of today will help you with this. But first, let's do another exercise with all the same rules. Now you have 5 seconds to pick your winner. If you choose red, you are with most people. In all these sequences, the fighters land the same amount of effective punches. So, why would most people go for red? Because he was the last one punching in most exchanges. If an exchange is even, being the last one punching will help you to steal the exchange. This happens for 2 reasons. First, you may land a counter that at best gives you points and unbalances your opponent. And at worst, It shows the judges a strong body language and a high level of activity. Second, when exchanges are messy, it is hard to register what is happening and what is landing. We tend to notice the last shot easily, helping you to steal an otherwise even exchange. For these reasons, even if your last shot is not landing cleanly, being the last fighter punching will help you to steal the exchanges. Pulling off this technique requires you to have really good balance, so you can go the extra mile and keep punching if required. It also requires stamina to be able to keep shooting through the round to guarantee you are the last one punching in as many exchanges as possible. Once you integrate this technique on your fights, you will start to outland your opponents since you will be punching when they are about to reset. And, at worst, you will be perceived as the most active fighter, giving you an edge with the judges when the points are even. The last technique of today will help you not only to be the last person landing, but also to be more accurate with your counters. Use your lead hook or check hook at the end of your exchanges or as a counter. It is the main counter we see at the international level fights. Most fighters finish their exchanges with this shot, to the point that they often throw it at the same time. The lead hook is a great counter for 3 reasons. First, it's a punch that is really easy to see. At a high speed, straight punches are harder to see, especially from some angles, but hooks are easier to see around the ring. They also are easier to judge if they landed or not. Second, it is the shot that has more chances of unbalancing your opponent, making it more obvious that you landed it, and this helps all the judges to notice. Lastly, this shot gets ahead of your opponent's head movement. Since most fighters punch with the head off the center, using the hook as a counter increases your chances of landing. How can we apply this left hook into our fights? Train yourself to use your hook and check hook as your default counter every time someone comes at you. Use the hook as the last shot when you throw a long combination. You can also throw this hook as you are driving back, making it easier to make them miss while you land. And remember, the best part of using this shot is that it can work really well with the point number 2 of today. Be the last one punching, and use your lead hook to sell that punch. Your lead hook is a great default counter to have on your arsenal. If you want to learn more about how to read your opponent and land other shots, click on this video. In this breakdown, I explain how the best counter punchers, like Tank Davis, approach their counter punching. If this video was useful, please share it with a gym partner that might need it. Thanks for watching.